Welcome back to the Morning Mindset. It's time for you and for me to get our minds aligned with the truth of God. This is a daily discipline that we have to become accustomed to in our walk as believers in Jesus Christ, because it takes effort to stay aligned. You know, it's one of those things where that word aligned reminds me of automotive stuff, because often you have to get your wheels aligned, because when you hit the potholes and the bumps in the road, it knocks your wheels out of alignment so they don't roll straight down the road. I don't know if you've never thought of that, but there's a lot that goes into keeping a car on the road in a safe manner. The same is true in our lives. We've got to get our minds aligned, because the bumps and the potholes of life get us off track, don't they? And they make us go kind of crooked or contrary to the way we should be rolling. And so that's how I think about this task we have every morning of getting our minds aligned with God's truth. We're doing so most recently here in 1 Peter chapter 4. And Peter says in verse number 8, above all, well, that's a strong phrase, isn't it? Above all, more important than everything else. Okay, pay attention. That's what I hear him saying. Above all, keep loving one another earnestly, since love covers a multitude of sins. Wow, there's so much that could be said here, I suspect. Peter is pushing us toward what is the truest fruit of being a believer in Jesus Christ, and that is that we as believers have an uncommon sort of love for each other, and it's a love based on commonality. We all were once sinners. We all have been saved by the grace of Jesus Christ. We all have received mercy from him and his unfailing grace and love. And so we, in turn, are to turn around and love one another as siblings, those who have received this tremendous asset, this tremendous grace together. And Peter says, as history draws to a close, that is one of the more important things that we are to do. We are to keep loving one another earnestly. And here's his reason for that. Since love covers a multitude of sins. See, what Peter's telling us is that even in our efforts to love one another earnestly, and even in our efforts to live at peace with one another and in harmony and in unity, sin is still going to enter into the picture. There's going to be pain. There's going to be places where we rub against each other, and the abrasion and friction of that causes us to get crossways with each other. And he's saying, don't forget in those times, you Christ followers, that you truly love each other. Love is something that exists between you and that you've chosen to do toward each other. And I thank God that Jesus makes that love possible. Aren't you? Don't you? I mean, I'm grateful because I tend not toward love. I tend towards selfishness in and of myself. But the power of Christ within me enables me to remember I need to love these others who are with me in this journey of honoring God with our lives. And Peter says we have to keep on with that attitude. It's not something we can allow to wax and wane and be weary of. I think of it with my own family. You know, we have grown children now and still one still in the home with us. And as the dynamic of the family changes, as we grow in our perspectives, as we grow in our life experience, there are a lot of things that could divide us, pull us apart, cause us to not be as close. But we have to be diligent, not only to love one another, but to create opportunities and environments wherein we can rekindle and refresh that love. And my friends, that is a tall order for us, but it's one that not only does Jesus call us to, but he empowers us toward. Thank you so much for joining me for the Morning Mindset. I would encourage you to tell a friend as the new year approaches. A lot of people do a New Year's resolution of sorts, and the Morning Mindset might be a great tool for them. Be sure and share the Morning Mindset, and join me again tomorrow.